Welcome to the Crap Vegas podcast.
Vegas, here we come.
Vegas!
Here are your hosts, Chris and Josh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Crap Vegas Bracket Challenge. I'm Chris. He is Josh. And Josh, I know you were super excited about our guest picker for today's episode, so why don't you introduce him?
Yes, today's guest is someone I've been trying to figure out a way to get on the podcast for a long time, and this was the perfect opportunity. So our guest today is Garrett Wang. Garrett starred for 7 years on Star Trek Voyager as Forever Ensign Harry Kim, and now hosts a podcast called The Delta Flyers, which talk currently about Deep Space Nine, the Star Trek show Deep Space Nine. And Garrett is a Las Vegas local who happens to be a craps player. And that's the perfect marriage for this show. I was hoping he would talk about all things Vegas and craps and get my little Star Trek fix in at the same time. So thanks for joining us, Garrett.
You're welcome. I am your ideal guest then.
Yes. You are craps playing Star Trek,
and Star
Vegas.
Trek actor, yes. I mean, do your listeners know that you're a big Trek fan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
all right. I'm just checking. I don't know. I think maybe they just know you as the craps.
Oh, yeah. The last 2 years or so when, I've come down for the convention and we do an episode where I talk about all the, not Star Trek things, but all the things I've done in Vegas when I'm down there for the con and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you've even come up a couple times too.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Chris, you want to take it away?
Okay, yeah, let's talk about the rules that we give every episode. The Crap Vegas 2024 Property Bracket Challenge has been set up with effectively no contest rules. The bracket was seeded by the Crap Vegas team, specifically just Josh himself, with helpful input from a couple other people, but some teams are in the contest that probably shouldn't qualify, and other properties were left out for no reason at all. So let's have some fun. Today we're going to have 5 voters. You have Josh, myself, Garrett, and then, of course, the Twitter public poll and our Patreon poll. Josh, you ready to get this thing going in the Danny region?
Let's do it.
Okay. Our first matchup in the Danny region, we have the number 1 seed Bellagio, opened in 1998, owned by Blackstone, with MGM holding that gaming license. Josh's fun fact this week, about 30 employees are needed to maintain and clean the Bellagio fountains. The lake is only 8 foot deep on average and 15 foot at maximum, and a vacuum system sucks up all the garbage, phones, glassware, and coins that are dropped into the waters. $13,000 is collected annually and is donated to charity. Terrific, Josh.
How's that for a fun fact?
I love that. First of all, I learned something new. 8 feet to 15 feet. I always thought that was literally 2 to 3 feet. I didn't think there was that type of depth going on.
Oh, really? I thought it was deeper.
No, I thought you could. I thought it was waist level at tops, or maybe chest. I don't know, stomach level. I didn't think that you can drown in there if you can't swim. That's insane.
There you go.
That's like a liability right there, right off the bat. People could sue you for that if your loved one falls in and doesn't know how to swim, and now there's a lawsuit against the Bellagio.
We'll have to look. I'm sure it's happened.
Wow.
Now, see, Josh, that's how you know it was a good fun fact, because somebody thought it was actually really shallow. Somebody thought it was deep. You are blowing minds across
Vegas,
the board.
and I thought it was shallow.
Right.
Oh my god.
Okay, the number 1 seed Bellagio is going to be going against the 16 seed Slots of Fun, opened back in 1971, owned by Phil Ruffin. Josh's fact is that Slots of Fun has made some news recently with a move to brand itself as Vintage Vegas. It's now offering 75 coin-operated slot machines with another 25 on order. It's also offering table games with $5 minimums and $2 hot dogs and Heinekens. Yeah, they're a budget property, Josh. I think that's a fair assessment.
Garrett, tell us why you love Slots of Fun.
I have no comment. Slots of Fun. I've never even stepped foot in Slots of Fun. I'll be honest with you. So, you're going to know my answer for who I'm.
This is going to be a really, really interesting vote.
Off the bat. I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, so the public voted for Bellagio. Patreon voted for Bellagio. Garrett, are you going to try to swing us over to be a Slots of Fun fan, even though you haven't been there?
Heck no. We're going to stick with Bellagio.
Nice.
Yeah, I think there's not much to say in this matchup. I applaud that Slots of Fun Circus is trying to pump Slots of Fun back into some sort of relevance, but everybody knows we love Bellagio. The fountains are incredible for tourists. We like the craps table locations at Bellagio are probably my favorite in all of Vegas to play right there at that intersection.
I agree with you 100%. This is going to be a 5-0 sweep easily for Bellagio. There's not even a positive thing I can say about Slots of Fun. So that's an easy win for them.
Before you move on, I'm just going to talk about Bellagio for a second.
Yeah.
I do feel that those tables, there's enough tables there. Like there's not a shortage of tables, and there's enough active tables. There's sometimes you'll go to a casino and they'll have 8 tables, but only one will be open. And you're like, what is going on here? So these guys always seem to have a fair amount of tables that are open, which is good. There's crapless as well, if you like that. There's bubble craps at, Bellagio as well, if you want to play bubble and not the tables. And the other thing is, I think every single day, sometime in 3 or 4 in the afternoon, Gavin Malouf, I guess. One of the
Gavin Malouf, yeah.
He shows up there.
And Marcia.
It's him because he always gets a chair. He's sitting in the chair. So, and he plays there every single day. So, so if someone from the Malouf family decides that this is their gambling hall of choice, then I think it's a good place. Yeah.
I think so too. Do you agree that the craps tables there's probably no better location in all of Vegas than that intersection?
Great. Yeah. Location's great. And the other cool thing is, I find that when I'm in smaller or not as upscale joints, playing craps, and I feel like if my bets are the largest on the table, I get more heat. Does that make sense? So I like to be at places where other guys, there might be a guy playing 1,000 on every number, placing every number, so that I can mess around and they don't look at me at all, which is great. So I like to play under the cover of a whale, basically. So a whale who's betting, thousands and thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars on all the numbers makes me feel the most comfortable. I like that. So
nice.
Yeah.
So Bellagio is going to move on to play the winner of the 8-9 matchup between number 8 seed Ellis Island, opened in 1967, owned by Gary Ellis. Josh's fun fact, Ellis Island is a unique spot that's popular among locals and low-rolling tourists alike. Highlights include a karaoke lounge, Tuesday trivia night, and a $9.99 top sirloin steak. Josh, they also have really good barbecue. I'm just throwing that out there.
There we go.
They're going to be going against number 9 seed Casino Royale, opened in 1978, owned by Tom Alardi. In the late 1990s, Casino Royale had the highest odds in Nevada at craps. The game was a 50-cent minimum bet game, which allowed players to take 100 times odds. And then around 2004, the Casino Royale became the first casino property on the Strip to install the blackjack variant Blackjack Switch, which is a very fun game to play sometimes. The success of Blackjack Switch at the casino led to the game spreading to many other casinos. So the public voted for Ellis Island, Josh, not surprisingly, and so did Patreon. It has a very big cult following. But Garrett, what are your thoughts? Ellis Island, Casino Royale.
First of all, when I first walked into Ellis Island, I thought, oh, this is like a nice small locals joint, low ceiling, whatever. It should be cool. Well, the table that I was meeting my buddy at, who lives in Vegas and is an avid craps player, that table was completely full. So I went to the other table further away, a little bit of a higher limit. And when the dice came to me, I started getting heat from the floor guy.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And he was saying, you're taking too long between your throws. And I was like, what? I was like, come on. And it was making me mad. I'm like, look, you're only giving me heat because I'm making points right now.
Right.
I was throwing well. You're only saying that. If I 7'd out immediately, you wouldn't have said anything to me. But because I'm doing, I was thinking this. I didn't say that to him. And then I said, really? You're telling me I need to speed up my play? You're like, yeah, for the sake of the rest of the table. And I'm looking at the rest of the table. They're not even looking at me. They're drinking, cahooting. Right. They didn't even care. I'm like, I don't think they care if I take an extra 10 seconds or whatever it is. He was like, oh, it's way too long. I said, well, let me talk to your supervisor. So he goes and gets the guy that's the shift manager or whatever, and he comes over. I'm like, you're his boss? He's like, yeah. I said, well, I need to talk to you about what's been going on. He's like, I already know what's been going on. I've already timed you.
Oh,
he goes, yeah, that guy timed me with a stopwatch. He had a stopwatch and timed me. He said I was taking, what did he say? He says, you're taking a minute and 45 seconds between each roll. When they hand you the dice, you're waiting for a minute and 45. I go, that's impossible, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, I'm not waiting that long.
I mean, I'd throw you off the table too, Garrett.
I said, you know what I'm going to do? I said, this is what I said to the guy. I said, I'm going to hit I had the all tall small bet. I said, I'm going to hit the all tall small and never come back to your casino again. That's what I said to his face right there. And I said, in fact, right now the point's a 9. I'm going to put a $30 dealer bet on the 9 that I'm going to hit that point. And I rolled, I hit the 9. I go, there you go. Look at me. Look how great I am to your employees. I'm tipping them, and look how crappy you are. This is my first time in Ellis Island, and you're treating me like crap. And here I am treating your employees, tipping them $30 on the point that I just made for them, whatever, but it doesn't really matter because I'm never coming back here again. After I hit the bonus, I had one number left on the bonus and I didn't hit it. So I walk out, and then later I walk over to my buddy who's at the other table. I go, these guys are assholes. I said, that floor guy there and the shift supervisor, they're two punks. They're punks. I have underwear older than these two guys. Okay. I'm like, these guys, no respect. So I said, I'm never coming back here again. So I leave, and then they come to the table he's at, and then he was complaining about something, and then they go, we knew we were gonna get trouble from you since you're friends with that guy. So then they actually kicked him out. He got kicked out. So
you got 86.
Right, so your answer about whether I'm going to pick Ellis Island? No, hell no. Ellis Island can go to hell in a handbasket. I'll tell you. I mean, it might be a good experience for our listeners, for your listeners, or somebody else, but for me, no way.
Not
and
your
especially
cup
if
of tea.
those two guys are there. So now, I mean, I wouldn't mind going back and making sure they're not there, then hitting the bonus, and then leaving, and telling the people there, like, oh yeah, make sure you mention to the shift manager from whatever shift he's from, that I hit that bonus. The guy that that took a minute and 45 seconds to throw. Oh my God. Anyway,
Josh, I hope
Casino
you don't have
Royale
this much.
all the way.
I hope you don't have this
Little
much
did you know I was going to be
against them.
sick. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my God.
What do you got?
Very opinionated.
So, Garrett, I love that. And I have never actually been to Ellis Island, whereas I had my bachelor party at Casino Royale.
Oh,
You can believe
so
it.
you're
I
gonna-
stayed at Casino Royale. This was back when they had table games and you could play like $2 craps or something like that. It was even cheaper than that, I think. So I'm gonna make Chris. I'm gonna put all the weight on Chris, and I'm gonna vote. I thought I was gonna vote for Ellis Island, but
You're voting Casino Royale
I'm going
with
Casino
me.
Royale.
Man, I thought this was going to be one I didn't even have to have a comment on.
No.
I thought this was going to be an easy one. Ellis Island, I've been there a handful of times. Like I said, they have really good barbecue. They do have lower limit tables, which I know people really like because it's close to the strip, but not on the strip. But levels, $10 table minimums most of the time.
Yeah.
The dealers were great. The couple times I was there, I had no problems with them. I mean, the hotel's what, a Super 8? Is that what it is? I mean,
It's
I'm
a
not
Best
staying
Western,
there.
I think.
Yeah, is that what I don't know. But I mean, Casino Royale, did they have table games back yet?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean, they took it away
I don't
with
think
COVID.
they took them away with COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that change your vote,
tough.
Garrett?
No, I'm not going to vote for Ellis.
No,
I'm
his
sorry.
line is drawn at this point.
No.
It's hard.
You know
for
what
me.
Ellis is like? To me, when you walk into Ellis is like you're walking into like a truck stop casino.
Yeah, kind of.
It's
It's got that feel.
Yeah.
It's got that truck stop sort of, kind of vibe going on, which is not bad. Like I said, I liked it when I first walked in until the floor guy, either the box, was it the boxman? Yeah, the boxman, and then the shift supervisor, which is the floor guy, I think. Those are the two that gave me shit. And I could not believe that. You're taking too long in between each throw. Okay. Oh,
It's
really?
a truck stop that has a craps table, though.
Yes.
And Casino Royale doesn't have a craps table, though, anymore.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly,
I'm going to
Royale-
vote. Casino Royale wins from the memory of their craps table. Just the memory of that table is fine enough. Is good enough for me to come on. When you get treated like poop, really, are you really going to vote for the place that treated you like poop? Yes or no? No. I know you're saying you can't vote for a place that doesn't have a craps table, but I'm going to vote for the place that used to have 50 cent
there you
craps.
go.
So.
And I never thought I would ever defend Ellis Island because anybody that knows me knows that's not a place I like to play. You know what, Josh? Forget it. I'm not fighting anymore. Casino Royale wins. It's moving on to the next round.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I can't do it. No more. We're moving on.
Chris bowed to the pressure.
I bowed down. Okay, moving on. Number 5 seed, MGM Grand. They were opened in 93. It's owned by Vici Properties. Most people think that the original MGM Grand facade required visitors to walk through a giant lion's mouth to enter the building. This is incorrect, as visitors actually had to walk under the lion. However, because of its design, some Asian gamblers reportedly felt as if they were entering through the lion's mouth, which is considered bad luck in some Asian cultures, and the original lion entrance was removed. Great, Josh.
Yeah,
Good info.
thought you'd like
That's good
that.
info. Going against number 12, M Resort, opened in 2009. It's owned by Gaming and Leisure Properties, which is a REIT that was a spinoff from Penn Gaming. Fun fact, in an effort to attack retirees, I don't think attack is the right choice of words there, Josh.
I wrote attack.
The casinos originally included a pharmacy for gamblers to get their prescriptions filled.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And customers had the option of using slot club points to cover the cost. Now, Josh, they didn't attack the old people. They were just trying to help them.
The pharmaceuticals could attack them.
Maybe target is a better word.
It was supposed to be attract.
Are they going to expand that casino and have an old folks home there too? A senior
It
living?
sounds
They
it's
might
going to be a
need to.
senior living village coming soon, but public voted for MGM Grand. Patreon voted for MGM Grand. Garrett, are you
Hold
continuing
on,
the trend?
before Garrett goes, we got to play the commercial. The
we got a commercial.
MGM 1993 grand opening.
When you're the world's largest hotel and entertainment complex, the MGM Grand, you need plenty of wide open spaces. So it's only fitting that a city of pyramids, palaces, and castles would be the new home of our 5,000-room kingdom, complete with a magical Emerald City, a 15,000-seat event center, even a 33-acre theme park. Las Vegas, where the lion will reign supreme. Try to take it.
Wow.
Does that sway you, Garrett?
No, there is no contest in this selection. M is another place I'll never play at either. So it's just I almost feel like somehow the owners or the casino, the head of the casino, has hired some type of witch coven to put some hex on there or something like that. Because no. I don't know. I've gone there. I've tried that place probably 12 times, in total in over the last, since they've opened, right?
Right,
So
right.
What year did they open? What year did M open? I don't even know.
M opened 2009.
Yeah. So basically I tried them like once a year for about 10, and then I gave up. I was like, can't win $1 there. It's just one of
makes
those,
sense.
at least for me, it's one of those places where the whatever, when I'm at that craps table, any of those craps tables, I'm zigging, the tables are zagging. I'm zagging, the tables are zigging. And it's always like that. And it's never, ever been the opposite. And I told, a friend of mine, the one that I met at Ellis Island, he that's the closest casino to his house.
Right.
And he keeps going there and he keeps getting his ass handed to him as well. And I told him, I said, just don't go there. That's cursed. It's a cursed casino. I don't know. Maybe it was built on native grounds. Maybe, who knows? It might be, some indigenous culture's burial ground that it's built.
Probably it.
I don't know, but it's not. I'm sorry. Why would I go to a place where I just can't win $1? It doesn't make any sense unless unless I like to lose my bankroll, and I don't like losing my bankroll ever. Right? So no one does. No player does.
Yeah.
So I'm going to 1,000 times bet for MGM. I think MGM is great because, again, a lot of tables. They have crapless there as well. And the timing, if you hit it right, those tables will be very generous to you. I've won a lot at MGM tables before. My only issue with that casino and a lot of casinos in Vegas is I think everyone should take a no smoking policy inside the casino. That'd be wonderful. Because sometimes it just gets ridiculous, and especially when someone lights up a cigar.
Yeah, some of the older properties.
You're
for
lighting
sure.
up a cigar at the craps table where I'm standing
Yeah.
this close to you. I mean, it's just, come on, man. You know, it's just, why do I have to smell like that? My clothes smell like that. My hair smells like that. You're here to gamble, not smoke, so just
It's true.
Yeah.
Josh, what you got?
So it's an easy one for me too. I mean, a lot of people do like M Resort, but MGM Grand is just kind of classic. It is what the 1990s on Vegas has become, because it was the biggest property at the time. It's not what it was. I mean, I miss kind of the MGM theming, the Yellow Brick Road, and some of the things that have gone away. And the casino was just massive, and you get lost in there. But it's still a classic, and I can't help but vote for it. First place I ever stayed in Vegas. Met John Madden at the craps table in Vegas.
Wow.
At the MGM Grand, yeah.
Wow.
That was fun, yeah. Huge hands. The biggest hands I've ever seen.
Yeah. We could do a separate podcast just on what NFL connected people we've played with at the tables.
Oh, isn't that
Either
great,
players
Garrett?
or
All
coaches.
the,
Yes, all the luminaries. And
yeah.
That could be a long, maybe we should do that. Okay.
I would like that.
All right.
Chris, how about you?
Chris?
Yeah, MGM Grand. That's an easy win for me, and I don't even like MGM Grand very much. It's too big. I hate the layout. I have no desire to stay there because I would never make it to the craps table because it's so big. M Resort's it's fine. It's a pretty property. It's just, there's nothing to drag me down there. So MGM Grand's going to easily win this matchup.
Unless
Josh,
you want to
they're
attack retirees.
That's true. Don't attack. Yeah, they attack retirees. How can I vote for a place that attacks retirees? I mean, that's just wrong. We don't want to hurt
You can't
people.
vote for a place with cursed tables either.
That's true.
No, that's true too. I mean, why would I want to play a place if Garrett can't win there? Then I probably can't win there either.
That's right.
So what's the point of going? Even though I keep going back to Venetian, even though I cannot win there. But there's
Seriously,
that. Yeah.
I find that's one of the. Oh wow, maybe you need to come with us and play there.
That's obviously what it is. I'm there at the wrong time.
It's your timing. So if you come and meet us at the time we want to go gamble, which is typically, I've never not been at a Venetian table where I've been there for a nice roll of somebody. There's somebody.
Oh, wow.
knows
Okay.
either myself or
Interesting.
another player.
I need to go with
It's
you. Yeah.
Always. Oh yeah, it's nice.
Life's all about timing.
It is.
Josh, they're going to be playing the winner of number 4 seed Paris against number 13 seed The Strat. Paris opened back in 99. It's owned by Caesars Entertainment. Josh's fun fact is that the producers, a Broadway musical comedy, ran at Paris from 2007 to 2008. Nice long run there, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
During the show's first 3 months, the cast included actor David Hasselhoff until he departed due to scheduling conflicts. Terrific.
I thought that was fun for Paris.
I like.
They're going against number 13 seed The Strat, opened in 91, owned by Golden Entertainment. The resort was named after the stratosphere and Earth's atmosphere as a reference to the height of the tower. At 1,149 feet, it is the tallest freestanding observation tower in the U.S.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Public voted for Paris. The Patreon voted for Paris. They got a strong head start. Garrett, take it away. Where are we going?
I'm going to go with Paris as well. The Strat, when I've played there, it doesn't, you don't feel good when you're playing craps at the
You feel
Strat.
scared you're about to die is what
No,
it is.
you just feel really it's just an awkward feeling is the best way. And I do understand they're the casino that invented crapless craps,
Yes,
evidently.
yes.
And I remember playing it, years ago when no one else had it. And
Right,
I thought this is the stupidest game. But now I prefer crapless because I throw a lot of 2, 3s, and 12. So I like, being the hero at the crapless table when I roll the
Nice.
the snake eyes or the midnight.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm going to definitely vote for Paris on this one.
Okay. Josh?
I think I am too. I mean, Chris and I went to a show at the Stratosphere, not to Strat, I guess it is now, but not
Rouge.
too long ago. Rouge at the Strat.
I saw that.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
It wasn't bad, was it?
It's
For
not
what it
bad.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of armed security guys at the Strat. And everybody
Really?
knows. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like machine guns in hand walking in the
We didn't
first
sense
front
That's
door.
like when you guys talked earlier about you were afraid for your life. Or
That's-
whatever
we
you
were
said,
serious,
like that.
yeah.
I didn't
No,
think
I
you
wasn't
were
joking.
being serious.
No, we were
You're not
serious.
joking at all.
Not at all.
There were what? There were armed security
Yeah,
guards.
they had, bomb dogs or drug dogs or whatever and all sorts
What,
of, yeah.
what the heck has happened in there? Why?
I don't know.
Man, it's a
And
rough place, but-
Paris is my mid-strip go-to property, that and Planet Hollywood. I'm not crazy about the casino floor at Paris,
Yeah, it's not the
but
best.
it's all right, and the rooms
It's
are
serviceable.
fine.
It's serviceable,
That's
you know?
exactly what it is. So it beats Strat for me.
Yes, hands down.
Yep.
You
From
know
a
what I
pure
feel,
safety
guys?
standpoint.
Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead, Gary. You're fine.
I feel like the Strat, because it is the strip casino that's closest to, not so nice neighborhood. It's almost like that's the buffer zone.
Yeah.
Like so
Yeah.
maybe that's why all the armed guards are there, because so many of the
Oh, yeah.
undesirables end up sort of walking in, and that's
Right.
and when they get repelled and kicked out, they usually don't go further, right? They go back
Right.
into their area, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe that's why there's so much, so many weapons.
I think you're
there
right,
for
yeah.
protection. Yeah. So all right,
Yeah.
go ahead, Chris.
No, you're fine. Strat, I don't like that it's mostly crapless. I like playing crapless. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good change of pace, but I don't like that 90% of the time the only thing open there is crapless. So you can't even play traditional if you want to. The show was pretty good. Rouge that we saw there, I had no problems with that. Don't like the area. North Strip is not a great area to be walking around. You're not walking between properties on the North Strip late at night. It's no good. Paris is fine. It's a normal Caesars property. It's slightly run down like every Caesars property, but it's in a great location. Pretty good tables, good dealers. Hotel is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Paris gets my vote, and that's an easy win for them.
Okay.
Moving on to the other side of the bracket, we have our number 6 seed, Flamingo, going off against number 11 seed, South Point. Flamingo opened in 46. It's owned by Caesars. And the fun fact, the famous neon pink and red bouquet of feathers that still adorns the Flamingo was designed by Paul Rodriguez in 1976. He was directed to give the hotel a theme. He joked that Caesar's Palace, quote, had the entire Roman Empire to work with. I had one bird. Thank God that bird was pink. So there you go. Going off against number 11 seed South Point, opened in 2005, opened by Michael Gohan. When the property was renamed from South Coast to South Point, the new name was chosen because of the minimal number of letters that would have to be changed out in the signage. So, cheap bastard. That's right. But this one's going to be a more interesting matchup, Josh, because public voted for South Point. The patrons voted for Flamingo. So we're starting off in a 1-1 tie. Garrett, which way are you swinging here?
I want to ask to go last. I want to hear you guys first. Go.
Josh, go ahead. Who you got in this one?
I can't help just for the history to vote for Flamingo. I mean, you talk about an iconic Vegas property. I don't think you can make an argument for Caesars, but Flamingo goes all the way back, and it's not much to stay at. I mean, I've been in a room there fairly recently, and I was a little like, I don't know if I'd want to stay there, but it's still
not that bad.
It's been a while since I've played there, but I'm voting for that pretty easily over South Point.
Okay.
Okay. This one was a little harder for me than it probably should have been. I like Flamingo, Josh, and I don't even mind staying there. I stayed there a couple years ago, and it's serviceable. It's not the nicest room in the world, but the rooms are fine. Those new Flamingo rooms, and I say new, I think it was like 10 years ago they redid them. The new Flamingo rooms were fine. The food is kind of lacking. There's just not a lot of options there. You got that horrible food court right off that has the terrible pizza place and, like a Johnny Rockets or something. I don't like their steakhouse very much. They closed the buffet, so you're really getting low there. But they have flamingos. You can go to the Habitat. That's true.
Right? And Margaritaville's closing. I just saw that. Yeah.
Hey, but Gordon Ramsay Burger's opening this year. So you do have that coming in. South Point, a local's favorite. They are known for their slot club. If you're a slot player, that's the place to be as a local. They do have a bowling alley and a movie theater. So for families traveling, I guess that's a nice place to go. Take your family and go bowling, see a movie and gamble. Yeah, I have to give my vote to Flamingo on this one. That's where if I had the choice between those two, I'd much rather go to Flamingo. And I'm not a heavy slot player, so that slot club that everybody loves really doesn't push me one way or the other. It's down to you, Garrett. I think it's already been decided at this point, but which way would you have voted?
I have never played at Flamingo.
Okay.
Well, that's fair.
I have played at South Point. I think that's hilarious that it was South Coast and they just had to change 3 letters, right? Or 4 letters. Yes.
Right.
So COAS became
just 3,
POIN.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, they could keep the O and the T. They were good.
Oh, that's right. Excuse me. Just 3. My goodness.
I thought that was funny too.
Yes, and I also went down there because they had like a Comic-Con, like a Las Vegas Comic-Con there.
Nice.
So I've been there a few times and I played their tables, and so just because of the fact that I've never played Flamingo, never stayed there, I'm gonna vote for South Point. So,
there you go. It's a pretty new joint, so I can understand how you haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
To Flamingo, I like that. Yeah. Slid right under there, right?
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Number 3, Circa. Going against number 14, Gold Coast. Circa opened back in 2020. It's owned by my least favorite people, the Stevens brothers. Fun fact, due to COVID-related construction delays, Circa opened the casino portion of the property in October 2020, with only the first 5 floors of the building complete. The hotel portion of the property opened in December of 2020, and rooms on the top 7 floors of the property have yet to be completed. Is that today? It still is not completed, Josh?
Yes. Yeah, they're just coming up with what they want to do with some of the space that they were trying to decide between suites and regular rooms and all that stuff, and they wanted to see what their market was going to be, I think.
Interesting. You don't see properties doing that too often.
Yeah,
Circa?
Yeah. And now comes my favorite fun fact of all, just for Chris, who, by the way, Garrett, Chris is an accountant by day. So that's where this fun fact comes in.
Go.
Number 14, the Gold Coast, opened in 86. They're owned by Boyd Gaming. Gold Coast Hotel and Casino sued the IRS in the late 90s. The question was whether a casino, using the accrual method of accounting, could deduct the value of slot club points earned by slot club members in the tax year in which the members accumulated the points to redeem the prize, or whether the casino had to wait to deduct the value of the slot club points until the member actually redeemed them. The Ninth Circuit found that Gold Coast deductions were proper, as its liability to members became fixed upon their accumulation of the minimum number of club points, whether or not they chose to redeem them, and because the amount of liability was known and reasonable, they had to accrue them. Yeah, so I mean, it's usually...
I thought he would like
this.
This is not an accounting
podcast, but liabilities can be reported when they're known and can be reasonably estimated. And in this case, they are known and they can very easily be estimated. So yes, I would agree those should have been accrued. That being said, I don't know how that has anything to do with the property.
Nothing.
But the public voted for Circa. Patrons voted for Circa. If you, Garrett, decide to go with Gold Coast, I would be shocked, but I actually wouldn't be upset with you. So go ahead.
Well, my dog is barking like crazy, so
That's
just
okay.
give it a second when the
He's saying Gold
garage
Coast.
door closes.
Gold Coast is what he's saying.
The garage door will close, and then she will be quiet in a second. No, my vote is for Gold Coast. Gold Coast. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
There you go.
I'll tell you why.
Now we're
I'll tell you
talking.
why. Because Circa was another place. First time playing craps there, gave me heat again.
Oh, interesting. For
And
playing
again,
slow?
For playing, yeah, like you need to speed up your play because I take my time. I don't
Right.
wanna, I don't want to. I want to set up, make sure my entire body is completely relaxed. There's not one piece of tension in my body, and then I always throw on the exhale like a army sharpshooter, basically. Pulling the trigger.
I like it.
Nice.
Like, well, it's not on the exhale; it's the end of the exhale. So when I have no breath left and it's done, and so I pull the trigger. Yeah, I go there.
Nice.
Gold Coast I like because they have stools for everyone. That's the way every craps table should be. You should be able to pull out a stool from underneath,
Right.
and raise it up so you can sit up high, and then that's it. Because they're compacted low to fit underneath. Then they pull them out and you pop it up and you're able to sit on it. So I think that's a genius. So all Boyd properties have that. So that's why I will vote for Gold Coast every time. Unfortunately, they do not have all tall small. They don't have ATS there.
Right.
They have one table that has, the repeater bet,
Yes.
and whatever the shooter bet. I don't know what you call it. But then there's another one that has a weird side bet, which is ridiculous. But in general, all over, I would say having the ability to sit down without having to ask for a chair is amazing. Circa, again, getting heat from the guy. And I always get upset because I look at the person who's saying this to me and I say, this is my first time playing at your table. And you're going to give me crap about this. You know? But I've learned that what you can say now is you can say, are you trying to say that I'm a dice influencer? Like you're, someone who is trying to literally throw them so they just don't bounce and land on the number, whatever it is, And so there's a terminology that you can use to make these guys back off, where they're like, oh no, because I'm not, I am a randomized shooter, just like anybody else. I am. That's the way I look at it. So basically, when they give you crap, you're supposed to come back with a statement, a calm statement, not one filled with expletives or anything, but a calm statement, which then tells them like, hey, if you're accusing me of that, now we have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So because you could take this, you can escalate it by saying, by bringing that up, saying, what are you going to do? You can put me on trial here? Are you saying that I'm trying to sit here and I'm someone who's purposely trying to throw? And there are people like that. They know how to throw them, so they skid across. They don't do anything except for land exactly how they want them, right? So that's not me. So, and especially with the arc I put on it, it's ridiculous to say that they're being set, that they're going to fall exactly how they're going to. They're hitting the table, the wall, and back
bounce
down.
off.
Yeah, they go, come on, guys. So Gold Coast for me.
Okay. Josh, I'm going to go first here. I'm jumping ahead of you on this one. I want to build the drama here. And I'm going to start off by saying I'm picking Gold Coast as well.
Yeah.
Anybody that's ever listened to our show before knows I do not like Derek Stevens. I don't really care about his brother, but I don't like Derek. I don't like the way he treats his employees. I don't like the way he runs his properties. He's not my cup of tea. I've played at Circa multiple times. I don't like Circa. I didn't like the dealers. I didn't like the boxes. I didn't like the floors. And I don't want to go downtown anyways. So you know what? Circa is not my place. I enjoyed playing at Gold Coast the last time we were there, Josh. I do hate that they don't have all tall, small, but I too am a big fan of Boyd properties. My local property that I play at consistently is a Boyd property. So I can kind of roll that out there if I need to and use anything out of it. And yes, we do have chairs at every table. So that continues into the Midwest here. But no, I'm going with Gold Coast as well, Josh. I'm tying it up at 2-2. You did this to me earlier. Now you have to make the decision. Is it Circa or Gold Coast?
Do I want to alienate my two co-hosts of this podcast today, or do I want to alienate our listeners and our patrons? It's
a hard choice.
No, I want you to go with
monetary
your heart.
effects to this.
Garrett, that's like you when you go against, your ranking of your vote, your numbering of your shows, the episodes, and you pick something way off from what your patrons have said.
Yeah. It can happen that way.
Yeah, it can. So I'm gonna say I understand the appeal of Circa for sure. I like the newness of it. I think the building's pretty. I love that you can see it from the freeway, the blue and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's loud like every Derek Stevens property. Some things going for the Gold Coast. Like you said, it's, I like the idea of the stools. I didn't even know about that. I really like that idea.
Yeah.
As I'm getting older, that's more appealing. It's got a TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
It does have a Fridays. There's no other casino that can say
That's
that.
right. That was almost going to be my fun fact until I found the accounting lawsuit.
God.
And a lot of people that go to the Star Trek convention, which is at the Rio, stay at Gold
Stay
Coast
at the Gold Coast.
right.
It's right next door.
Right. It's right next door. It's sometimes a little cheaper for people. So I'm gonna go against our listeners and patrons, and I'm gonna go with you guys and move on to Gold Coast.
Yeah, go Gold Coast.
I can't believe Gold Coast upset Circa, but
I don't think there's a single person that listens to our show that thought that was going to happen.
No, that was a surprise.
Look at that. Well,
New
Josh,
doesn't mean better.
that's right.
Okay.
I agree
That's
with
true.
that 100%.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got number 7 seed Red Rock going against number 10 seed Durango, both station casinos amazingly facing off against each other. Red Rock opened in 2006. Josh's fact is that a $65 million expansion in 2006 included the addition of a $31 million bowling alley, the most expensive one in the world. In 2012, a 79-year-old woman bowled a perfect score game at the bowling alley, becoming the oldest woman in Nevada history to score a perfect game, and the second oldest woman in U.S. history to do so.
How's that?
Is that in the Guinness Book of World Records? Where
That's
do we
right.
find this info? Okay. Going against number 10 Durango. As we mentioned, their station casino opened in 2023. I think it was in December last year. Red Rock Resorts, the ultimate owner of the property, used the $650 million sale of the Palms to help finance Durango, with cost rising from $750 million to $780 million during construction. The public voted for Red Rock. The patrons voted for Red Rock. Garrett, is it a Red Rock sweep continuing?
It's interesting. I think the public and Patreon voted for Red Rock because not enough of them have gone to Durango.
Probably,
That's my
yeah.
feeling.
Right.
Durango's interesting because it's a smaller property. The casino is smaller, but what's cool is that when you're in the casino, you can look to the left, you can look to the right, and you have these massive, glass windows
Oh, yeah.
that you can see outside. It's
Right.
there. So it's not one of those things. There's some of these casinos that you're inside there and literally you don't know what time of the day it is. You don't know.
Right.
You're just, you're in a part of the casino where you don't see the sun
Daylight,
or the
yeah.
moon
Yep.
or anything. You're just in the casino. And so that is one nice thing. It's very airy and the ceilings are high. So overall, I feel like it's a very comfortable feeling. Now, Red Rock, I've been gambling at since they opened 2006. I've been going there, religiously. That is the closest casino to where I live until Durango opened. Now Durango is closer by a smidge. Yeah. So I'm between the two of them. So that's a tough one for me.
So Garrett, while you're thinking,
Yes.
I will tell you that when Chris and I, actually it was during the Star Trek convention, I had a rental car. And so Chris and I wanted to go out and look at, casinos we hadn't been to. So we went to Red Rock and I've got a Star Trek shirt on or something, or my badge or whatever. And the dealers were asking me about it. And I said, yeah, I'm here for the Star Trek convention. And they said, Garrett Wang?
Yeah. They all know me. Yeah.
So that is the reason that I picked this
Red Rock.
region for you to be a guest on, because I knew this
Okay.
would be tough for you.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It's very difficult to decide between those two. I went during not the actual opening weekend, but they had opening weekend and the weekend right after that. I went the weekend right after that. And I have to tell you, it was the craziest time. I've never had this happen to me. So I got there at, what was it? Something like 10 in the morning or something like that. And
Right.
it was cold, choppy cold. And I was very conservative. I didn't bet big and, I was just waiting it out. And finally dice come up to me and I roll this low fastball roll, which is not my typical roll. My typical roll has a lot of height to it. It's
Right.
a lot of arc and it's a smooth flowing roll. This one was fast and low, right? And I used that roll and I hit the all tall small, and it was like, oh wow, okay,
You need to do that again.
yeah. So, but then after hitting the all tall small, then I rolled a little while longer. Then I 7'd out. Then it went around the table, and going around the table during the day is not. It doesn't take hours, right? It literally was like it was like another person, like 3 other people, then back to me again. I was 4 more shots, and it was me again. So it came back to me, and I said, I'm now going to switch to a lofting roll, but in my non-dominant hand. So I'm a righty. So I said, I'm going to use left this time, just for the hell of it. And I hit the all tall small again. So in one session, I threw the ATS, the entire thing. And the second time, thank God, I had 15, 20, 15 on.
Oh, nice.
Instead of the random 5, 5, 5 that I normally throw, right? The cheapy bet, like, See, this is the thing. On my own throw, I should always go higher because the chances, because I always find that I am, I pride myself in being the best thrower at the table and in the session. I feel like I can throw longer than everyone else saying at that table. That may sound like a very cocky thing to say, but that's what I like to believe in myself, that will happen. And more times than not, I will hit at least half of the bonus, right? So I should always put higher than the 5, 5, 5 on myself, but I always tend to not think that when it actually comes to it until that time when I hit it twice. So very lucky for me at Durango. But I guess because of all the history I've had with Red Rock, I've been there so many times, I'm going to have to vote for Red Rock because it's the original property. It's the flagship property. So,
Josh,
Red Rock.
I'm going to pretty much follow your lead. Chris and I really liked Red Rock when we were out there. The dealers were fantastic. Yeah. The place was beautiful. We were there first thing in the morning because I think it was like 7 in the morning because I had to go for the convention. So it was pretty slow in there and things, but it was beautiful. So it's got my vote. I haven't been to Durango yet. I'd like to, but I'm going to go Red Rock.
Yeah. And it's hard to find a casino where across the board, all the dealers are awesome. Like there's a lot of, there's certain casinos that you'll go and you're like, oh, that's the one that you don't.
We really liked them.
With. Yeah.
No, crews were great.
Yeah, they're nice. Great.
Yeah, Red Rock's going to get my vote as well here, Josh. I have nothing really to add to what you guys have said. Red Rock's a great property. Dealers are great. Tables are great. It's just, it's a nice place to be. And they have a movie theater too, right?
Yes, they have a great movie theater. They have an IMAX theater there. They have a bowling alley. They have a bowling alley too. So it's not
perfect.
It's not just
that's the 79-year-old lady that rolled the perfect game.
That's right.
We talked about that. Yes. We didn't talk about that. Sorry.
That's okay.
Didn't we say South Point had a bowling alley too earlier? Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah, they have a bowling alley and a movie theater as well. Yeah.
Right.
But that wasn't my fun fact. That was Chris's thing.
Yes.
Something I threw in.
But if you compare Red Rock to South Point, Red Rock, the look of Red Rock is 5,000 times more elegant and more high tech, more modern than South Point. South Point again is like a truck stop, sort of off the beaten path, kind of rodeo sort of casino. And also, I would say that Red Rock has the best carpet. A lot of carpets are just like it's almost like when you walk into any strip property, their carpet looks like someone threw up, like someone just regurgitated, and that's the pattern that you have. Whereas Red Rock
I need to look
has
at that
a pattern that actually works, and it's not busy, and it doesn't hurt your eyes. Where every other strip property is not good. So great rooms, great tables, great employees, and great carpet.
Perfect. Here you go. What else could you ask for in a property? Okay, so Red Rock is going to face off in the final matchup today against the winner of number 2 Encore and number 15 Silver Sevens. Encore opened in 2008. It's owned by Wynn Resorts. Encore is described as, quote, the flirty younger sister of Wynn Las Vegas. Encore is one of the rare Las Vegas casinos to feature natural light and pool views on the casino floor, which reflects back on Garrett's comments on the last matchup that we had here.
Right.
But they're going against number 15 Silver Sevens. It opened in 1980. It's owned by Affinity Gaming. And fun fact, in 1996, Crown Ventures agreed to buy the hotel for $35 million. They planned to convert the property into a nostalgia-themed Back to the 50s resort. But that deal fell through when Crown fell into bankruptcy. And here we are now. The public voted for Encore. The patrons voted for Encore. Garrett, I mean, if you want to vote for Silver Sevens, I don't know if you're going to swing me on this one.
There was a night when I decided I'm going to just drive and walk in and play at every craps table that I've never played at.
Right.
And so I walked into Silver Sevens, and if I'm not mistaken, they have a weird half table there.
Oh,
and it's almost like
one of those old school tubs, like the little.
No, it's almost like it's a MacGyver tub. Like it's like someone just made. It was like they told two employees that are not carpenters to like, hey, make a half table for us, like a tub. They're like, oh, okay. And then as they were making it, their skills at woodworking wasn't up to snuff. So one of them told the other one, hey, go down to Walmart and get some like construction paper stuff. And like literally I think it's wood and cardboard that's literally used. I mean, cardboard, literally cardboard. It's the weirdest setup I've ever seen. If that's the same casino, if it is, I think it is. So did not enjoy that experience. I thought that
didn't sway you over Encore.
No. I won at the the MacGyver table. I did win that session. I left a winner, but I'm going to go with Encore for sure.
Okay. Josh?
You talk about casino carpet. I think the carpet at Encore is really pretty. The butterfly
like
themes. And I don't think that one's too busy. I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I want to look at Red Rocks for sure next time we're there. But I love the carpet at Encore. I like the wind carpet too. But Encore is beautiful with the butterflies and stuff. I mean, it's an easy choice for me.
Yeah.
I mean, we love Wynn Encore. Wynn's my place. I'd rather play and stay at Wynn than on the Encore side. But the rooms are beautiful. You can't argue with the property.
Yeah. Encore is an easy win here. You know, we love Wynn more than anybody. It's probably our favorite place to play at all times and definitely the favorite place to stay. The one thing nice about Encore is that you get slightly lower levels too, because Wynn is almost always going to be $50 minimums, usually 100 in the evenings. At Encore, you can almost always find a quarter table. And I know that's not for everybody, but being able to find a quarter table in the Wynn Encore series is really nice. The rooms are great at Encore. They're spacious. You have the separate sitting area. Yeah, I love the property. Good food options. This is an easy win for Encore.
There we go.
Here's a question for you guys. Other than Venetian, is it Venetian or is it the other sister property? One of them has, I know it's Palazzo. Palazzo's VIP room has a VIP craps table.
Yeah,
who else has a
VIP?
Who else has a VIP craps table other than Palazzo?
Well,
it depends on what you mean by VIP, because Wynn has a private table behind the center bar, but it's almost always reserved. So unless you're going to come in with the 100K line, they won't let you take it. Bellagio does not have one. Aria does not have a craps table in VIP.
I don't think anyone else does.
I don't remember seeing one at Fontainebleau.
Cosmo doesn't have one in the Talon Club, but they do in their private casino up top.
How do you get into that casino then?
I got to walk in there one time and I did not play, and I saw it. It was there. And I'm trying to think. Resorts World doesn't have one in their Sky Casino. They do. Oh, Resorts World has one in their VIP area. Their high limit table games area. They have a couple roulette tables and a craps table back there. I've never seen it open though.
What's the minimum? Oh, you've never seen it open. Okay.
No, I asked one time. I think they said 50 is pretty normal because Resorts World usually doesn't get north of a quarter on the main floor ever.
Right.
So Garrett, it's interesting you asked because we have had listeners say you need to go play at the reserve table. I mean, at the high limit table at Palazzo. And
I've tried many
Chris
times.
keeps going and it keeps being reserved when he goes. We're going to be we're going to be the end of April and we're going to try again.
No, let's try. I'll try. Yeah, let's definitely try then. That'd be good.
Well, Josh,
I've never seen it reserved ever.
Oh, okay.
So
I think Chris just had bad luck.
Yeah.
I guess that's the case. But I have a good host at Venetian though, Josh. I bet you if I asked, especially if you were coming, Garrett, I could probably get the table reserved for a while.
See, there you go.
See, maybe we can make that work.
Yeah, or maybe we don't even need to do a thing. Like I said, I mean, every time I've
that's true. Yeah.
It's been open.
Okay, Josh, so I think that's going to wrap up the Danny region. Here's our winners moving forward. We got Bellagio is going to be playing Casino Royale in the round of 32. We have MGM Grand facing off against Paris.
Oh.
We got Flamingo facing off against Gold Coast. And we have Red Rock facing off against Encore. So I think we have a couple interesting matchups in the round of 32 that there'll be some heavy debates, I think, going on.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
So, Garrett, why don't you tell everybody how they can find you, get a hold of you, or if you don't want them to get a hold of you, just tell them to go away. What's easiest?
Probably social media. You could find me I'm probably most active on Twitter. Well, now X. So X/Twitter or Instagram. My address there is at Garrett, Garrett, and then my middle initial R and then WANG. And I only did that because of Jerry Ryan. Jerry Ryan was the first person to adopt Twitter. She put at Jerry L.
Oh,
Ryan,
yeah.
Jerry Lynn Ryan. So I thought, okay, I'm going to copy Jerry. So I do that. And of course, everyone who's trying to find me on Twitter is going to put at Garrett Wang, W-A-N-G, not the R. They're not going to put the R there because his last name is not Rawang. So what happened was I tweeted the guy that has at Garrett, W-A-N-G. And he's like, oh, man, I get so many messages for you. People tweet me all the time thinking I'm you. And his profile photo, it's two kids getting up out of the ocean, climbing onto the back of a boat. It's obviously summer vacation.
Right.
It's taken from someone who's on the boat. So you kind of see the tops of their heads. That's it. And you can see, but you can see they're Asian. You can see they're Asian.
Oh,
so
okay.
clearly,
Yeah.
So you're going to go, oh, this is Garrett when he was a kid, with his brother or cousin vacationing in Caribbean, whatever. Right. Well, so I start, going back and forth having messages with this at Garrett, W-A-N-G on Twitter. And I said, is there any way you can change your profile photo, please? He's like, why? I said, because people don't know that you are not me. They think that's my account. And so he replies, no. I said, you're not going to change it? He's like, nope. I was like, can I just ask you one more question? How old are you? And he's like, 13. I go, oh, that's why I'm dealing with
That was him in the picture, wasn't it?
Yes. Doesn't even care. It was his picture. It wasn't his kids. It was him. That was him coming out of the ocean. And so that's the guy I'm dealing with. So at Garrett R W-A-N-G on Twitter and Instagram. I also have a Facebook account, not as active on that, to be honest. And then, of course, the podcast. If people are interested, it's the Delta Flyers. We are available on basically iTunes, Spotify. We have the free version that anyone can listen to. Any place you can download a podcast, you can find the Delta Flyers. Make sure you put the S at the end. If you don't, that's a different podcast entirely by two fans of Star Trek Voyager talking about their thoughts about the show. So you want the S at the end. And if you want the bonus version, you can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/the Delta Flyers. And we have all different tiers from 3 to 5 to 15. I think the really sweet spot subscription level per month is either the 5 or the 15. At 5, you can watch us. It's not, you can watch us with the Zoom because we record on Zoom. We also do video reactions of when we watch episodes. And at 15, you get all the bonus interviews with all the people. So we've already reviewed all the Voyager episodes. So you can, if you go to Patreon, you can go back and see all those. They're all there still, of course. And then now we're into DS9 with Armin Shimmerman and Terry Farrell as our co-hosts there. They alternate per episode. So it's been going it's been going really well. And I think people will enjoy it. If they haven't heard it yet, check it out.
I am a patron and a big supporter of the Delta Flyers, so you're welcome. So if anyone is a Star Trek fan, we do have some crossover gamblers and Star Trek fans, which is why I thought this would be fun. Chris, however, Garrett, is not particularly a Star Trek fan. And when I told him the name of your podcast, the Delta Flyers, I told him that was the name of your podcast. Chris, what did you think the podcast was about?
I absolutely thought it was about Delta Airlines, and you guys were like big time Delta Diamonds, and you were talking about all your trips that were coming up and hacks and tricks associated with flying. That's what I thought it was about until I did a little more research today, and I figured out that is absolutely not what it's about. So if you are a big Delta fan, do not go to the Delta Flyers podcast. That's not going to help you. So yeah, it was very, very interesting to me.
I thought that when you said to Chris, it's the Delta Flyers, I thought maybe he misheard it. And he said, the Delta Fryers. So they fry chicken or whatever. And it's like, this is about
down
comparing
in the Delta,
Popeyes
Southern
and KFC. And like, we just eat fried chicken from every part of the universe and compare it.
That sounds like a good show, actually.
Canadian fried chicken.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's got maple syrup on it.
Garrett, we will make sure to put all your links on the video version and in the podcast notes for everybody. And we'll link over to your Patreon, of course, because people go support Garrett. He's obviously an awesome guy. You want to hear more from him. And if you're a Star Trek person, then who better to listen to than Garrett? So this was
if you want Delta Airlines, you got to go somewhere else.
Right. Exactly. I'll start that podcast myself with somebody else. Maybe Josh will join me. But Garrett, this was a ton of fun. We really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much, Garrett. Thanks for your time.
Yes. You're welcome.
Vegas, here we come.
Thanks Thanks for listening to the Crap Vegas podcast.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
Check out all our recent news and our Vegas trip calendar by visiting crapvegas.com.
See you in Vegas.
We hope you enjoyed this week's CV Bracket Challenge voting. For an exclusive video version of this episode and access to all later rounds of voting, please join us on Patreon at patreon.com/crapvegas. Thanks for listening. Garrett, thank you again. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
As a non-Star
great.
Trek person, I don't get the full appreciation for it, but I'm sure it's an amazing show. You were great to have on.
Did you ever watch the original series or anything like that?
He's not a
I
Star
didn't watch
Trek
Star
guy.
Wars,
Yeah.
Star Trek, sci-fi stuff has been out of my house since I was a kid. So
You're
no.
just a craps player to him. That's all you are. It's just
No,
a
you're
craps
just another
player.
craps player, yeah. A slow rolling craps player that takes a little bit of
Yeah,
time. So, I got to be
evidently.
careful with that. I'm a
You
guy
got
that
to.
likes a quick game moving. So.
You like to keep it moving, huh?
Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
want things moving.